So it sounds like what you're saying is putting people over services and products, because I think an argument a lot of people would make about the good that Amazon has brought about is I can open up this laptop lid and within half hour or an hour, I could build myself a library that would have made Thomas Aquinas jealous.
Yes.
That's incredible.
It is incredible.
And it can be used for good.
Yes.
But is the difference that I'm now pouring in my resources into a company that may not as a whole be beneficial to society?
You nailed it. So those two questions, the 2 points in philosophy of technology I mentioned is Amazon. So you get benefits out of it. It's usable to you. You can do it for your ends and your good, right? So I use it too, right? And so it can be used by an individual, and then we can casuistically try to decide whether I should try to get out of that or not. Some people maybe can, some people can't, right? Or at least when I say can and can't, I mean prudent or imprudent. Okay, but what is the cost to the world for having Amazon? In other words, how does it affect human society and having it? That's the number one question, right? In philosophy of technology, how does it affect society as a whole? Not can I use it well or poorly? Because every technology has that. Every technology can be used for well or poorly. Mm-hmm. So that's a good question to ask. Is Amazon's existence, right?
A net positive.
And that's hard to tell. And that's the maybe I could say the third lesson. You already nailed it with the Amish is, since we can't know for a long time, we should be really slow in how we adopt technologies. So Postman in his book Technopoly calls that a skeptic of technology. Not a technophobe who's afraid of technology, not a technophile who just loves technology because it's technology, but a skeptic who keeps a distance from it because he knows there's going to be effects that I can't predict. And AI is the perfect example. We don't know what this is going to do. Even the makers of it don't know what it's going to do. And yet we rush into it and we released it and we're doing stuff with it. And that's the story of technology's productions for the last several hundred years. Not putting the brakes on, not being a skeptic, just introducing it. Right?
Is there anything that you've put the brakes on personally? Like, are there any technologies? I mean, you've said you got a Prime account, you've got an Apple computer, an iPhone.
Yes.
Are there things that you've thought, I have to resist this? Or are you saying, unfortunately, no, because given my circumstances and my income and those that depend upon me, I have to play this game. I have to be in this system.
Yeah, I try to limit it to only things that I need. Like, it would be really hard for me to do my job without this. So I have one. This is Franciscans. Like, I rent it from them, right? And so it would be hard to do my job without a computer. Now I could, but that would require a trade-off, right? And so to me, that trade-off isn't prudent at this point. Now the smartphone, now I could probably get by without this smartphone. Okay, but this smartphone to me isn't really a smartphone. It's a computer. Yeah. It's a small one of these. And I have a library on here, like you said. So my main use for this is to call, to text, and to have a library on it.
Can I tell you something really cool about Peter Kraft, who I had in studio recently? He's terrible with technology. Like, phones can be awful. So he says he has a flip phone. Yeah. But he only uses it to receive texts. He doesn't text people back.
That's great. See, he's in control of it, right?
Well, I think it's because he doesn't know how to. He doesn't know how. Okay. But I thought that was so cool. Like, what a baller move to be like, I don't text back. Yes. But you're welcome to text me.
I think we've got onto the principle, which is we should use the technology only because we need to.
Gosh, now, but what a slippery slope.
I was going to say, the arguments from necessity are easily abused.
Yes.
But if you are aware philosophically, you can say, you know what, do I really need this? You can ask that without manipulating. Like, a child says, I need a third cookie. I need a fifth donut, whatever. They always think they need it just because they want it. Right? And so I think that is the right question for an adult that has some amount of prudence. It's like, well, do I actually need this for what I want in life?
So for
what's important in life?
If not, I don't mean to make this too personal, but if you were to be given a significant raise.
Yes.
Would you then consider getting rid of certain technologies, your Amazon account, that sort of thing?
Totally.
Oh, you would, yeah.
The reason why I use Amazon is because of the cost is less. That's why people go to Walmart, because it's less cost. But then people think, wait a minute, let's just pick on Walmart just for a second. I know people might want to defend different things in the past, whatever. Yeah. But let's just take it as a paradigm of a corporation that's done bad things, right? But if you're not making very much money, let's say, or you're poor or whatever, then you need to go wherever's cheapest, because that's the only option, right? And so, of course, you're going to go there. That's why Aquinas, I love his article on usury, right? Which usury, that's an interesting topic in its own right. is this intrinsic evil, right? We could talk about that, but Aquinas says, well, is it a sin to take a loan from a usurer? And his answer is no, it's not a sin necessarily to take a loan from a usurer. So here's somebody who's doing something intrinsically evil, right? In order for him to complete doing that, you need to receive the loan. Mm-hmm. So that is not a sin. You're not formally cooperating because you need money in your life to, let's say, get food or shelter for your family. And so he says actually having usurers in a society can actually, to some degree, right, help those people as a side effect. That doesn't mean we're justifying usury, right? But to me, that's the sort of theme I would have for any of these cases, right? Is, well, it might be evil to have this company overall. Now, going down that rabbit hole is a long story, but let's just suppose Walmart's evil. Mm-hmm. Well, if it is necessary for you to go there, then go there. If it's not, then don't. So if you get more money, you don't have to, right? If you got more money, let's say, then you could just go to the grocery box all the time or whatever. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, with Amazon, it's the same thing. And for me anyway, for my family. No, I would rather not be on that. I would rather not have a credit card at all, right?
So in order for distributism to work, it sounds like it has to happen grassroots and
Absolutely.
locally,
yes,
and within community.
Yes. And so to me, I would call myself like a post-liberal distributist. And to me, what's going on here, which is compatible with the kind of post-liberal Catholic political thought going on there, is distributist.
And it's not necessary. So what would you call somebody who subscribes to distributism?
A distributist.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not necessary for a distributist to be self-employed.
No.
It just means that they're working towards not having to be employed.
Yes.
And if that wasn't available to them, they could then use their own property to make their own money and for the good of their family.
And so one of the complaints against distributism is, well, that's only going to work for like agrarian societies and stuff.
Yeah,
right. Now, obviously, it has worked in agrarian societies, and distributism is not a utopia because it actually existed in different places and times in the past. And in fact, Belloc claims it's the normal condition of human society until something imposes a disorder.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Hey, thank you so much for watching. Before you go, do us a favor, leave a comment, let us know what you thought of the video, like, and subscribe.